Hi guys, I'm Greg from ZE Portal. Today's video is the much anticipated tutorial on how to use the Zoho Forms functionality within ZE Portal. ZE Portal is designed to take full advantage of all the amazing functionality within Zoho Forms. One of the biggest bugbears my consulting clients have with Zoho Forms is the ability to pre-fill forms. To get that URL, you can't do any automations with it. You can only send email templates and then it populates into the email templates. Well, with ZE Portal, we found a way around that, and we are able to add pre-filled forms as portal items, which is phenomenal. But let me show you how to set up pre-filled forms within ZE Portal and how to add those as portal items. And then a really cool function right at the end I'll show you, but I'll save that one for last. So first things first, we need a form to fill in. So I'm going to create a new form, and I'm just going to call this test deal contact portal item, and I'm going to hit create. Now, the way this is going to work is we want to pull in the latest data from our deal into this form. So I'm going to go to the advanced fields and I'm going to pull in the Zoho CRM field. And now I'm going to say I want this to link to the deals module, and I want to pull in the deal name. Okay, so I'm going to hit save there. Now, we don't need the user to see this, so I'm going to say hide field. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to pull in some fields that we do want to show the user. So for example, let's pull in here the deal name, and let's disable that, and let's pull in something else. Let's pull in a currency field. Let's pull in the amount. So where's our currency? There we go. So we'll just call this amount. But obviously you can pull in whichever fields you wish from your deal. And let's disable that field. And so you could go through and pull in all the different fields from your deal. One of the drawbacks to this Zoho CRM integration field here is you can only pull in data from one module. So I recommend using the deals module. And then if you have data that lives on your contacts or your vendors or somewhere else, if necessary, you can duplicate that data across to your deal and show it on your form. But hopefully that won't be necessary in most cases. Okay, so now that I've got a couple of fields here that I want to fill from my deal, I'm going to click on the pencil and I'm going to tick here to say map fields. And now we'll go deal name from Zoho CRM, wants to fill deal name on Zoho Forms, and the same for the amount and the amount. And we're going to click save. Now, typically with a form, you want to collect some information from your clients. So I'm just going to put a radio button here, and I'm going to say, are you happy to proceed? ? And then here we'll just say yes and no. And we'll make this required and save. All right. So in order for this form or any form to tie in with the portal and for the portal to know that this form has been completed, we need to send this person back to the portal with a specific URL link to tell the portal that this person has completed the form. In order to do that, we're going to put a field right at the top, and we're going to call this portal item hash. Okay, and we're going to click save. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our settings, and we're going to say field aliases, configure now. And here we're going to say that the portal item hash has the alias of hash, all lowercase. And we're going to click save. Now we're going to say thank you page and redirect. We want to redirect the user to, and now here we want to put in our portal. Okay, so if I go to any of the portals I have on my system, and I click here to view the portal as the client, I can see here that this is my portal. So zeportal.net/Acme Accountancy /. Okay, so I'm going to paste that in there. And now I'm going to tick here to say pre-fill values in the website URL. Now this is very important. So this is portal, all lowercase. So that's an L on the end. And then it's item with a capital I. So don't get confused here. That's a lowercase L and an uppercase I. Okay. And so now we're going to say that must be equal to the portal item hash. Done. Okay. And now here we'll just say, thank you. We are redirecting you back to your portal. Okay. And I'm going to hit save. So now technically we're done. However, we've added an amazing new feature in the last few days to ZE Portal, which means that now if you go into your ZE Portal folder in Work Drive, you'll see we have this Zoho Forms attachments folder. So what you can now do is here under submission and storage in Zoho Forms, you can say manage form attachments, Work Drive, manually, and now you click on ZE Portal, Zoho Form Attachments, Add. Now you want to tick here to say Store Form Submission, and you want to remove whatever's in here, and you want to say put the portal hash there, and then click Save. And that means whenever a form is submitted, the PDF of that form is going to be dropped in here. And I'll show you what will happen with that. So we now can go to integrations. And here you can choose to update your deal with whatever the client has responded. So I don't know if I've got anywhere to store the data, but let's give it a try. So let's see what field we might want to put this in. Let's see. Let's just put it in the description field if it lets us. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to say when the client fills this in, put their answer to this question in the description field. Obviously, you'll have proper fields set up to receive the answers from your clients. And now I'm going to tick here to say run the workflow rules, blueprints, etc. And we can also, if we want to, attach a copy of this form to the deal. So I'll do that for good measure, even though I don't need to. So I'm going to click integrate. And now what we need to do, let's remember we call this test deal contact portal item. So now let's go to our portal templates library where we're going to make a new item. But before we do that, we actually need to make an email template that points to this form. So if we just go to the setup and then go to templates, and now we'll go new template, and here we will put this on the deals module because that's where our form comes from. And we'll say blank, and we'll just call this the same thing as our form. So let's call this deal contact test form portal item. These things really don't matter, although it will help you to find it later. And now we're going to copy this text and we're going to say link, and we're going to say forms, and we're going to point to this form. Now, if you don't see forms as an option here, you will need to go into your setup and under Zoho in the marketplace, you want to find Zoho Forms. I go manage or add or whatever. And then here you want to click pre-population. All right. So if we go back to our email template, we've now linked this email template to this form. Many of you will already know how to do that. And now I like to put these in their own folder when I'm setting this up for clients. So here, and I allow all users access. So here I will call this portal item Zoho Forms. Okay, and save. All right, that's just saving. There we go. All right, so now if we go into our items, you don't want to put too much information in here because it's going to restart in a second. So I'm just choosing deals and contacts. And now I'm saying pre-filled Zoho form. And in this case, I'm going to say refresh email templates because I've just created a new one. So it doesn't appear in this list yet. So I'm going to refresh and this will reload in just a moment. And now if we go new item, deals, contacts, and we say that this is a pre-filled form, give this a minute just to refresh itself. And then here we're going to call this client onboarding form. And for the client, we'll say, yeah, let's just call it the same thing. Okay. And here we see deal contact test form portal item. So we'll click add. And there we go. Now, if we go to our templates, we can see we have an item of type, let's go form. And oh, I've got many that are called client onboarding form. That's not very good. That's going to confuse us. So I'm looking at the one that we created today, which is the 13th of May. And I'm going to edit this, and I'm just going to say auto populate client onboarding form and save. All right, so now if we go to our portal, I've got an existing portal here. I've got other videos that show you how to make portals, so please check those out if you don't know how to get to this point. We're going to say add portal item. Actually, let's refresh just before we do that. There we go. So add portal item. Now I'm going to choose a template, and I'm just going to look for auto, and there we go. Auto populate client onboarding form and add. All right, perfect. So now if we look through our items, we can see this one here, client onboarding form. That's the one we've just added. So let's view this portal as the client. And now the client can click on here to fill this in. And there we go. Okay, so we forgot to hide our portal hash. So let's go in and do that quickly. So if we go back to the builder, and here we want to say hide field. And now as the client, where is the client? Here we go. We'll just refresh this. There we go. So you can see the deal name has pulled in, the amount has pulled in, and here's our question. So in this case, we're going to say yes, and we're going to hit submit. There we go. So it says, thank you, we're redirecting you to your portal. And now, because we pre-filled that URL, it's found the correct portal, and it's now marked that item as pending review. Now, please note, when you're testing this yourself, it can take about 5 minutes for that portal item hash to populate to the back end of Zoho's database. So sometimes it'll lead you here and it'll just show you your login screen for your portal. Your client should never see that because your client will only actually visit their portal at least a few minutes after you've added that item in, or it's going to take them at least a few minutes to fill in your form. So it's very rare that they'll come across that. If they do, they just hit refresh and it'll load their portal after a minute or two. All right, so now that we've got that, it takes Zoho Forms a few minutes to feed that data back to the system. So if we go onto this deal, which our portal is for, oh, I don't know what's happening there. Okay, got it. So if we open up this deal, and you remember we pointed that data to go into the description field. So if we go down, there we go. So now if we go back up here and reload our portal, this is the one I think we're working on. Yeah, there we go. We can see here we've got our client onboarding form, which is now pending review. Now, if we go to our Zoho Forms attachments, we can see that the attachment file has now been added here. So if we click in here, we can see this is the attachment from the form we've just submitted. So now back on our deal, we can click Process Response, and now we can click into the item. And now what the system is doing is it's pulling in this item and it's moving it to the portal folder. So if we go here and we open up the portal folder, we can see here it is in the portal folder. It's just been added there 39 seconds ago. So now if we reject this and just say test and submit, the system will now rename that file as rejected client onboarding form with the date and time. Okay, that's really awesome. So you can actually see the form that the person has filled in. So you can decide whether you want to accept or reject based on what they've said on the form. So now as the client, I'm going to come in and I'm going to say no this time, and I'm going to submit it again. Now, the Zoho Forms integrations, to save things to this folder and to update the CRM, they do take a couple of minutes to run. So just bear that in mind when you're testing. In the real world, your clients will be filling these things in at ad hoc times, and you won't be sitting here immediately, clicking respond as they do it. So anyway, here you can see it's come in. If we go to our deal and refresh, it's probably going to say no in the description field now. There we go, no. And if we go back up here and refresh and go into process the response, we now click on the response. It's moved that file across. And now you can see it says no here. This time we're going to accept it. We're going to click submit. And then if we go back to our portal folder, we can see accept and then the date and time. So that is the whole feature as to how you automate the Zoho Forms with ZE Portal. There are some amazing additional things you can do. I've shown this in previous tutorials, but for example, you can have your client, answer different questions in the form and have those then populate onto your deal record. And then you can have workflow rules that run on your deal to add additional items to the portal. So I'll show you that real quick. So let's go into setup and workflow rules. I'm just going to use the description field because, that's what we're working with on our form. So this will be ZE portal test description field. Okay. And now what we'll say is when a record is edited and when a specific field is edited, and here the description is edited to the value yes. Next, what we want to do is we want to say for deals where the portal hash, actually let's do the portal ID, is not empty. Next, we want a custom action and we want to add a ZE portal item. And then here, let's add, let's see here, what do we have? Let's just ask them for their proof of address when they say, yes, they're ready to move on. Although technically we could ask for several things. So let's ask for all three of these things. Okay. And then we come down to the bottom and say set up. I'm just going to give that the same name, save. And then let's go back to our test deal. Let's clear out the other portals. So we've got, where are we? Here we are. So let's delete this old portal that we used for testing. And this is our current portal. Alrighty. And now I've already got some other items on here. So I'm just going to delete those other items. All right. And then this final item, let's change this back to requested. All right. And now if we go to the portal as the client, and let me just refresh this and show you. So there's only one item on here, which is the onboarding form. And if we come here, we've only got the one item onboarding form. Client says, yes, I am happy to proceed, submit. And bear in mind, you can use this for clients accepting quotes, additional work orders, anything you really like here. Okay, so we've now received that response and it says there's nothing further for them to do on their portal at this time. But that's because it does take Zoho Forms a couple of minutes to send that data across to Zoho CRM. When the data gets sent to Zoho CRM, it'll then fire our workflow rule and add those additional items. So if on Zoho CRM, if we come and refresh our portal, we still don't have the items on here. Let me refresh one more time. We can see the 3 new items that have been added here. And again, we can process our response, click into it, and here we can see the response, and it was yes. All right, perfect. All right, any questions, please do let me know. You can comment on this video. You can get in contact with me via email. One of the best things you can do if you need any assistance is inside the extension, you can go to the settings menu and over here, this is an active subscription, so I can't. If you're on a trial subscription, you'll see a button here to book a demo or support meeting. So you can just click there and that'll book directly into my diary. But otherwise, reach out to me. There's plenty of ways to contact me.